Like Missy Elliott.
That is
For like
such a
two
good
beats.
answer. Yes.
It's Johnny Bailey Whip and Flim. Yep.
Hi, I'm Gina. I'm here with Jonathan Bailey, who plays Anthony Bridgerton in Bridgerton, and these are his Netflix 9. So, Bridgerton, which comes out on Christmas Day, you know, just as Jesus was born on Christmas Day, so is Bridgerton born on Christmas
exactly,
Day.
yeah.
To bless the world.
They're on par.
Yeah, exactly. So it's also Shondaland's first show with Netflix. What is it like to be part of a project like this, and how did it all come about? Like, did Shonda Rhimes herself say, "Johnny, mate, come on board"?
Yeah, she slipped into my DMs and that was it. No, I got sent the script, and it's kind of the holy grail. Well, it's the Trinity, really, isn't it? Period drama, Shonda Rhimes, Netflix.
Yeah.
Amazing. For me, I read a couple of scenes and recorded them, and I actually read for Simon initially, and sent them across. I then went over to America because I just finished a job and I was going to Coachella Music Festival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was all right, yeah. On the day, I think it was the day that I was going to go to the festival, I went into Shondaland. We just talked, and it was so lovely because I had a cup of tea, and we really, really got on. And I think it was Betsy Beers who just, at the end, went in for the 3-pointer and went, "What about Anthony?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, great, he's great." And they said, "Look, what do you think?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they said, "Look, we'll send you some scripts and see what you think." And so I was in the queue, the famous queue, into the desert for Coachella, and that's where I just went through 3 episodes in the traffic jam, and it was an amazing weekend.
A lot of people were describing, based on the trailer alone, describing the show as like a Jane Austen meets Gossip Girl. If you were to describe Bridgerton to someone who hasn't seen it, how would you describe it?
I think you can't really go wrong with either Gossip Girl or Jane Austen, so already I'm in.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be sold if that was what I'd be like,
yeah,
okay.
Definitely. It's undeniable because it's so rich, and you know, finally we're seeing people in period dramas, and hopefully people will see themselves in period dramas whereas otherwise in history they haven't been.
Yeah.
And you know, corsets were designed for anyone, so you know, so the idea of representation in this is just so key and so important. I think anyone who has access to Netflix should be able to see themselves in any and every narrative. And I describe it as a 21st century glossy mirror to a very chic and torturous history, and holding it up. That's what I'd say.
That's a really great description. Really great description. Okay, so I want to talk about how, I mean, the show is not just iconic because it's helmed by Shonda and it's got so many great people in it, but also Julie Andrews narrates it. Did you meet her? Did you meet Julie Andrews, and did you meet Shonda? I just want to know those things.
Listen, I've been best friends with Julie Andrews since I was about 6, in my mind.
Okay, since
so in
birth.
your mind, it's one thing. In my mind, yeah, exactly. Julie's my singing teacher, my cultural reference point for everything.
Yeah,
you know,
childminder, all sorts.
Childminder, yeah, for sure. And she also, my tailor. She made those amazing little dresses for me.
Yeah,
that's growing up. But yeah, no, she's mega, and I actually haven't met either of them. But their presence, I think, was felt all the way through. And I think watching the show now and you know, the last couple of weeks, I've never felt closer to Julie. Yeah, Julie and Shonda will be as soon as lockdown finishes.
Yeah,
we'll be over for dinner.
Yeah, they'll be over for Christmas dinner. Is on me, Julie.
Mince pies with Stilton coming your way.
Coming your way. So obviously in Bridgerton, your character is part of a huge, wealthy, slightly chaotic family, I'd say. Yeah. That's how I describe it. So going on a slight tangent here, if you could adopt yourself into any other rich and famous family,
amazing,
which would it be?
The Jacksons.
That is such a good answer.
I didn't even have to think. That literally came from the ground up. Was like the Jacksons. Because that was easy as 1, 2, 3. Who doesn't want to be at the end? Who doesn't want to be at the end of that lineup? I mean, let's go back, a couple of decades.
Yeah. That's a good answer.
Obviously, there'd be a lot of questions to ask. Obviously.
yeah.
And,
that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. But there's a lot of choreography to learn, and maybe if not them, maybe the Osmonds or the Nolans.
You're killing me, sir.
Any singing family, I'm in.
Talk about the bit more about the cast. Being that it's a big ensemble cast, I imagine that it was really fun on set. You're wearing these like big, heavy, extravagant costumes. You're with really great people. They all seem fun. You seem fun. Do you have a particularly fun or favourite memory from filming? If so, who was it with?
I think what's really funny, just like hearing you describe that, is that what really makes me laugh in retrospect is the idea that on day 1, day 2, when you see everyone in their costumes, and everyone's like, no way. Oh my God, look at what you're wearing. You look so good. I can't believe is that Harriel? And then by like day 3, everyone's like, this is really painful. When you get to know people as intimately as you do when you work with them and play their siblings, it's just a look. And that's actually in the edit, there's a giggle. And there's a giggle from me, which is so out of character.
Really?
And it's so minute, and if anyone can see it, they'll get a mince pie with Stilton.
Yeah, they'll get a mince pie delivered socially distanced from Johnny himself.
Get a meal with me, Shonda, and Julie.
Yes, exactly. I'll just be dancing in the corner, just like
brilliant.
A B C. Easiest 1, 2, 3.
Comes with the fam,
Yeah. Janet's on the corner. So there's a good bit of fighting that happens in the show, both more subtly because people are being shady in a very regal way, and people just fighting in general physically. But I would like to know, who on the cast would you challenge to a duel? Not a serious one.
Just like a play
fight. You have
fight.
to challenge someone to a duel. Yeah, play fight.
Hugh Sachs. He's just so brilliant, and I've known him for he's great. I think we'd find it hilarious. I mean, the whole duel sequence was just like fascinating anyway.
Yeah.
And understanding that was the way that gentlemen resolved their issues. I mean, as if men were bad enough. and you understand why there's a real problem with masculinity now when you look back at that. But yeah, I think it would be a dance off. And I think
ooh, that is such.
That's how I would duel.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to go down, but I can't.
Who do you think would win in a dance-off between you and me, and then also Janet? No, not Janet. Between you and me.
You can't bring Janet into this, blimey. It's like in the Queen's Gambit, and she's like the Russian amazing chess player that no one can beat. I think you'd win, and I think I would realise that quite quickly and just follow your lead and just compliment every shape that you're throwing. I'll just sort of facilitate. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally doing it like a Regency jig. That's how I roll.
All right, so let's go look back to Lady Whistledown, because I love the fact that there's that person that sort of knows everyone's business and is also the narrator throughout the show. Yeah. If you could have someone to narrate your own life, who would it be? It can't be Julie Andrews, because you've got to be original.
Ian McKellen. Syrian.
That's a good shout.
He's so naughty, and he's got such a plummy. Yeah, he's just got a twinkle. I think or if not him, like Missy Elliott.
That is such a good answer. Yes.
And I want it all in flip reverse. So it's like when I'm singing down flip. It's you're flimming the flim, yep. And that'll be my 12th birthday. And then everyone will be like, what? It's Johnny Bailey Whip and Flim, yep.
It's such a good answer. Every time there's a little music interlude in your life, you'll just think out like...
Yeah, which is basically any time I'm alone. No, I'm listening to it. I'm listening to Ciara 1-2 Step.
All right, let's go back to those more holistic questions about linking Bridgerton to your real life. Here's another one.
Yeah.
If you were to throw a ball like the ones in Bridgerton.
Oh, I thought you meant. I was like, can you throw that? I was like, poor cars. I've had a duel, I've had a dance off, and now I'm throwing a ball at someone.
Yeah, if you were to literally hit someone in the face.
If I was going to drop a ball.
Yeah. If you were to throw a ball, you know, the dancing ones, like the ones in Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Who would be on the guest list?
I met Rihanna at a party last year. I know, and I ran up to her and I went, "How you doing?"
No
You're
way.
Right. Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Oh, yeah." Like that, and her team just went. So I think I would invite her back just to be like, "Sorry about that."
Okay, so I've got one question left,
Mm-hmm.
and so bringing it back to Bridgerton. What are you most excited for people to see from the show, and just excited about it in general in terms of what the reactions will be?
I'm excited because it's like a new genre.
I agree.
You don't see romance in this way, in a very mainstream. It's really saucy and there's real heat to it. What I find fascinating about it is the intricate ways in which love is talked about and how identity and love. You have to be able to know who you are and love yourself before you can love another human, I think. And the different ways in which all of them, for some people, for some in this series, it's just little fizz, and there's huge like passions throughout. And I think that's so brilliant to see, especially within, the period genre where we know it's all corsets and all repression, and of course we have all of that, but then you do get to see, what's really going on in the bush. Yeah.
Get it.
You know what I mean?
Get behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain, no, even that doesn't work either.